Okay, I want to first start off reviewing what we did yesterday. This is f of x is 3x minus 2, g of x is 9x squared plus 1. Okay, so when we're adding them, 3x minus 2 plus 9x squared plus 1. Parentheses, you can't do nothing. Exponents just on the x. Multiplying, no. Division, no. Adding, yes. So those two right here, 9x squared plus 3x, keep those separate, and then negative 2 plus 1 is negative 1. And then I insert the negative 2. And I got 29. Okay, the next one, now we're subtracting g minus f of x, so I start with the g, and from it I subtract the f. Parentheses, nope, exponent, just on x. Multiply, no. Divide, no. Adding, yeah, after I do this, there will be negative plus 9x squared plus negative 3x, and 1 plus 2 is 3. Okay, now I insert the 3 into the expression. So 9, 3 to the second, plus negative 3, 3, plus 3, and that gives me 75. Okay, division, g divided by f. There's not much to do there, like nothing. Parentheses, no. Yeah, just on the x. Multiplying, no. Division, I know that means division, but we don't know how to divide algebra expressions. It's not as easy as you might think. You don't just take that divided by that and that divided by that. That's wrong. Addition, no. Subtraction, no. We're done. Insert your 2 in. I got 37. Now put your negative 2 into the bottom. Negative 8. Okay, you can't really do anything with that. I mean, I'm fine with it being improper and all that. Okay, the input. So G is 9x squared plus 1. It sucks when you start with an x squared, okay? Because you're going to have to take the x out and move your second power out here. And we need to put 3x plus negative 2. That makes us a pain in the butt when I'm running through PEMDAS because I can't add those, but I do have an exponent with more than just x, okay? So I need to go to a piece of scratch paper and conduct my FOIL procedure. 3x times 3x. 3x times negative 2. Negative 2 times 3x. Negative 2 times negative 2, and that's 9x squared, negative 6x, negative 6x, and 4. It's negative 12x. So 9x squared plus negative 12x plus 4. Okay, so I have my 9. Now the power's gone, but I have something new in the parentheses. 9x squared plus negative 12x plus 4, and then plus 1. Multiply, yep. So 81x squared plus negative 108x plus 36 plus 1. Division, no. Adding, yeah, those two, 37. Okay, I didn't give you anything to insert in, so that's fine. Now I start with the f, so that's going to be 3x plus negative 2 remove him, and we put the g into that. So it's going to be 9x squared plus 1. Now we think PEMDAS. This one's a lot easier though. The reason is because the exponent's here with just the x, so there's nothing I have to do with that. Multiply 27x squared plus 3 plus negative 2. We got to add those two, and that's 1. 27x squared plus 1. Okay, that's just a little recap of yesterday. Now, you don't really even need your calculator on this part, okay? Now, what they give to you, it says f input g of x equals the square root of x minus 6. This is after they've done the input for us, okay? What I do is I circle the expression that's confined, x minus 6, and that's going to be your g. To find the f, I make my cubed root, but instead of x minus 6, I'm just going to put x, okay? Now, you don't need to do this. You need to just watch this part. Here's why that works, because if I started with f, I'd have the cubed root of x, and I remove the x. And I put the g in for it, so x minus 6, and that is exactly what the input was. Okay, next one. F input g of x equals 3 times the absolute value of x minus 4. So I've got x minus 4. Then I have 3 times the absolute value, but instead of x minus 4, we're just going to put x. Okay, inside x minus 4, and inside I'm going to just have a parentheses to the third, but instead of x minus 4, I'm just going to put x. Because when we remove the x, we put in x minus 4, and it's x minus 4 all to the third power. 5 times x plus 3 quantity squared minus 7. So x plus 3 would be my g. My multiplier is a 5. The structure is a parentheses, and I just put x, and then a second power minus 7. That got cut off. I can't even tell what it says, so let's just not do it. X minus 4. So I have 5, the structure is a parentheses to the second minus 4, and I just put x in. Okay, again, you got to kind of have a structure, and then 5 times the absolute value with a plus 3 added. Instead of x minus 2 in that absolute value, I'm just going to have x. X minus 7. Square root, I'm just going to put x. If I were you, I would pause the video and do 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? And then I'll show you how to do 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, now go find this page right here. And here's the second part. It's called finding the inverse relation. This is really easy. It's not hard at all. I don't really have much of a use for it in my class, but he does a lot of it in trig, and it's also on the ACT. Inverse relation. Inverse means opposite. So what you do is you put an x where the y is, and you put a y where the x is. And then what you need to do at that point, after you flip the variables, you need to get the y by itself. So I box up 8y plus 1, but I can't really add 1 to x, so it's just going to be x plus 1. X plus 1 equals 8y. And then I just divide both sides of the equation by 8. Okay? And I have my answer, x plus 1 over 8 equals y. Next thing, let's flip the x and the y. Now get the y by itself. So box it, you can only go behind the x. So x minus 3 equals negative 20y. Now divide by your multiplier on both sides. And you can't really divide that, so just put x minus 3 all over negative 20. Okay, flip those. It's going to be x equals 2y to the third minus 7. Box your y up, plus 7, plus 7. So we're going to have x plus 7 equals 2y to the third. Then divide by 2. So I have x plus 7 all over 2, and then y to the third. Now to cancel a third power, you do a cubed root, and then just cubed root that entire side, and that's your inverse. So the cubed root of x plus 7, all divided by 2 equals y. Okay, next up, switch them. Plus 6, plus 6, so x plus 6 equals y squared. To cancel out a second power, it's just a simple square root. So the square root of x plus 6 equals y. Okay, that page that we were just on, flip over to the back side of it. I'll do a couple more. So flip x and y. And now get the y by itself. So minus 3. You have to go behind the x. X minus 3 equals 7y. Divide by 7. That's it. X minus 3 all divided by 7 equals y. Box your y, because after you switch them, you got to then get the y by itself. And then divide by 8. Divide by 8, and that's it. X plus 1, all divided by 8 equals y. Flip them. X equals 4, y to the third plus 7, minus 7. So x minus 7 equals 4y to the third. Then we're going to divide by our 4. So I have x minus 7 over 4, but the y is to the third, so I need to cube root both sides. So I have the cubed root of x minus 7 all over 4 equals y. Okay, next one. So x minus 10 equals y to the fourth, and then we do a fourth root to cancel, and a fourth root. So y, and then I'm going to have the fourth root of x minus 10.